The MTEB Leaderboard is a great place to sort of explore open source options and also explore all the different sort of tuning modules you can use and look at when you're choosing a model. So I actually just went on this site today and it looks a lot different than what it did when I made this presentation a couple days ago. But there's a lot of the same stuff in here. So they have different benchmarks now, different languages here. But we'll go over my slides and it corresponds still. So the first thing you should look at, and up in the top right, you'll see this, is the model size. So as I mentioned, larger models are going to be more expensive to run. Smaller models are going to be cheaper to run. If you have a billion parameter model, you're going to need to run this on some GPUs versus a smaller model, maybe 100, 200 million parameters. You can run that on a much smaller machine. So that's where model size comes into account. Second one is over in the tabs. You need to figure out what your use case is. What are you actually using the embeddings for? Are you using them for search systems? Well, then that's going to be retrieval. Are you using them to classify or cluster your data? Well, you need to figure out what that is and how the models perform in that specific use case. So certain models can be fine-tuned for different use cases. So it's important to see whether the model works and performs on your specific use case. Otherwise, you're going to be misled. So if we go over to the retrieval tab, because obviously I work at a vector search company, so I love retrieval tasks, we can look at all the models here. So on the left here, you have the model name, and for each model, you're going to have a model size. So the top models here are almost 8 billion parameters, which is huge. And you can also see the memory usage of this model. And this is also going to affect your inference costs. So how much is it going to take to run this model? What sort of infrastructure costs are you going to need there? Then over here, we have the embedding dimensions, and this is going to affect storage costs. So higher dimensional embeddings can often encode more meaning, which can help encode more nuances in the data you're embedding, which can often give you higher performance. The trade-off there is that higher dimensional embeddings are more expensive. So there's always this back and forth in machine learning trade-offs to think about. And then over on this tab, you'll see the retrieval performance. So this is an average of all the data sets over to the right, which we'll get to in a second. But how accurate is this model? When it does retrieval tasks, is it returning the things that is in the sort of gold standard data set? And this is where you need to look at all the trade-offs. Do you care more about having a cheap model run fast? Or do you care more about having the most accurate outputs? So things to consider. All right, and we have even more. So at the top there, you're going to see all your different language choices. So are you going to primarily use this for English text? Are you going to use it for multilingual text? Are you going to use it for code, long context, all of this? Things to consider. And then over scrolling right, you'll see specific domain datasets. So if you're using your model primarily for medical text, you're probably going to want a specific model trained on medical text. And this is going to help it pick up nuances in the data, learn which words are actually important to your data, etc. Something else we'll go over more in a bit, but is to take these averages with a grain of salt, especially with open source models. A lot of these data sets are public, and so a lot of the test data can sometimes end up in the model themselves. And so it's always, always, always important to do benchmarks on your own data in your own use case, figure out how it's actually working for you before you decide on a model for sure if you're using open source models.